But
today I'm going to be paying tribute to my grandpa who passed away nearly 2 years ago. I have been very lucky and blessed that he is my only family member that has ever passed away. He was a very kind and special soul. Everyone I knew loved him in his town. He had been struggling with his heart condition for a very long time, but didn't let anyone of us see it. His name was Terry. I knew him as Papa, but everyone else knew him as Terry. I would always hear stories about my Papa. One specific one that I can point out is from my great grandma, which was his mom, and she said that when he was little, he used to go outside in the winter in only his diaper and pretend that he was a wolf and be barking and howling at the moon when he was little, about 3 years old. If that tells you anything about how much he loves nature, it does. He loves nature. I remember another specific story that points out that he loves nature. My mom said that my mom had 3 other siblings and they're all girls, so my papa had 4 daughters. He would always bring them home after work because he worked in excavation. He would bring home foxes, turtles, cats, puppies, squirrels, even a skunk one time, she said. He was a real nature guy, like I said, which you could tell without knowing him by how down to earth he was. He ran his own excavation business in Illinois, like I said, and he worked with family only. Family was extremely important to him, and he always wanted to keep people close to him, who was his family, and he acted like his friends were his family as well. He would always bring in new guys that needed a job, and even if he didn't like them, he would bring them in so that they had income for their families and teach them tasks so that they could get paid for actually doing something that they knew how to do. The memories are what makes him being gone so bittersweet. I cannot tell you how much I miss him and think of him every single day. He told me every single time he saw me that he was proud of me, and he gave me the biggest, hardest hugs that I've ever had in my entire life. Since he lived in Illinois and I lived in Missouri, I know it was hard for us to communicate, so he would always send videos instead of text messages on text because he hated texting. And it meant a lot to me because I know I have over 20 cousins, so I know we are a lot to keep track of. So it did mean a lot. There were funny memories too. He did not understand the concept of face masks. So all of my cousins and me would go in the bathroom and all go put on face masks because there's 20 girl cousins, there's no boys. And he would always say that he always thought it was mud on our faces. And no matter how many times we try to explain that it was not mud, he always thought it was mud. There is a memory though that I will never forget. It was the day before he died. He actually texted me and told me that he loved me and that he was proud of me. And then he sent me a Bible verse to read and think about. And he was actually in the hospital, and I didn't know that he was in the hospital. No one wanted me to know, or any of my sisters. But he knew he was passing away, and he knew the next day, or he knew that he probably wasn't going to make it. And the next day, they decided to, and then the next day, which was actually just a couple hours from when he texted me that text, he wasn't waking up. My family decided to cut the machine, and that was that. I will always remember the good and the love that my papa spread. Everyone knew my papa as Terry, as I said, and he cared and loved everyone deeply, and he showed it with his actions and words. Always keep your loved ones close because you never really know when the last time you're going to see them is. So I love you, Papa, and I hope heaven is treating you well.